He is absolutely one of the best human beings in the planet. Anything, he's just such a great human being, and like I love his work ethic, and also like when you hear his story, and I don't know anything about music, so when I met him the first time with Drake in the Bahamas in 2020, and he's telling me his story about, he was in jail a couple years earlier, he never rapped, and now he's got this great, kind of music career. Like, you just want to root for the guy. And I'll tell you something, I've never actually said this before. The stuff of the drunk was the most ridiculous thing in the world, right? We're at a party, everyone's drunk. It's a 13-hour party. People drink a lot of alcohol. Someone captures a picture of me jumping on his back for 1 second and then says, "Oh, there's something suspect about it." It's drunken guys. By the way, before cameras, we've all done it. Like, let's keep it real. By the way, you love WWE. You've done it more than anybody.
Ever since that Rubin party, that ain't my boy no more. They got him. That's what 50 Cent had to say after a wild video of Lil Baby hit the net, rocking a tight tank top, a flashy pink belt, and flexing brand new thigh tattoos. Yeah, you heard that right, thighs. Now the internet ain't letting this slide. People are roasting Baby nonstop, saying it's wild to have your first tattoos show up on your thighs, especially when your whole upper body is still looking like a blank canvas. Folks online are calling it suspicious, weird, and even ritualistic. And 50 Cent, he ain't buying the innocent act at all. According to 50, Baby hasn't been the same ever since that Michael Rubin party in the Hamptons. The same party where Baby got hugged from behind on camera. 50's out here claiming this is deeper than tattoos or clothes. He says it's all part of a straight-up humiliation ritual. He's convinced these parties are where young rappers get tested, pushed into weird situations just to keep their spot in the industry. So what really went down at that all-white party? Who even is Michael Rubin? And why does he keep popping up next to the hottest young rappers in the game? Why does it always feel like something ain't right when his name is involved? But before we get into all that, let's break down why Lil Baby just put himself back in the hot seat, starting with those bold, unexpected tattoos that got everybody talking like he just signed up for something way bigger than ink. So get this. Lil Baby used to swear in interviews that he'd never get tatted. He was real proud of that clean look, said it just wasn't his thing. But now, it's a whole new story in 2025. Out of nowhere, Baby pops out with bold ink on his thighs that spells out 90s Baby, clear as day. He dropped a carousel of pics on IG, flexing in shorts and proudly showing off the fresh tats with the caption, "Back in that mode." But fans ain't convinced he's in control of that mode at all. They peeped the new leg art and instantly started speculating. One tattoo runs straight down the side of his lower left leg with the letters CBFW. First seen on his July 4th IG post. But it's the thigh tats that really had people talking. Comments started flooding in like, "This gotta be a humiliation ritual," and "The industry got to my boy." Some were even begging him to put them shorts away because they couldn't believe what they were seeing. Then boom, the video drops.
No fun, that picture came out. I literally made Mike Rubin go to his security camera in his house, go to the footage and get the whole time, and I just never, I ain't even gonna post it. Internet. I'm just like, you feel me? Like, yeah, I ain't even trying to make it into this and making it to that. Like, man, just keep on going, because that's kind of like how I be doing. But some like all that type of that really bothers me.
Lil Baby hit the stage rocking that same outfit, shorts, a pink belt, and a tank top. But what made it wilder? He kept pulling his shorts up on purpose, showing off those thigh tats like it was part of the act. Now the internet is in flames. The comments are brutal. Folks are straight up saying 50 Cent was right. They're convinced that ever since Lil Baby stepped foot into that all-white party at Mike Rubin's mansion, he's been on a whole different path. And it don't look good. One user straight up said, "Michael Rubin already showed y'all that Lil Baby was his boy. Why y'all acting brand new like this is shocking?" Another wild comment went, "Bunny hops and hugs from the back from a rich Lil white dude?" Yeah, this generation lost. The internet was going in and fast. So the question is, what really went down at that party that got everybody side-eyeing Lil Baby? And why was 50 Cent so loud about warning him? It all popped off back in 2023 when Michael Rubin threw his big white party out in the Hamptons. And we ain't talking regular celebs. This guest list was stacked. Jay-Z, Beyonce, Kim K, Tom Brady, and yep, Lil Baby was in the mix too. That's when the now infamous pic blew up online. Lil Baby caught in a full-on hug sandwich between Mike Rubin and Kyle Kuzma. It had the internet in shambles. And 50 Cent? He wasn't about to stay quiet. He reposted the pic on his IG with the caption, "See, this is why I don't go to No Party Puffy and them at the F is going on here." And then he added, "Get the F off my young man." But it didn't stop there. Another clip started making rounds. This time it was Mike Rubin hugging Lil Baby from the back. And guess what? Lil Baby later dropped a video of him on a private jet with Rubin, cracking jokes about those viral pics like it was no big deal. That's when 50 made it crystal clear. This is exactly why he stays far away from those parties. At first, folks thought 50 Cent was just trolling like he always does. But nah, this time it hit different. Because for years now, people been whispering that something sketchy goes down at these industry parties. It's giving secret club vibes, like some kind of initiation that new rappers gotta pass just to level up in the game. And clearly, all that noise online got under Lil Baby's skin. Bad. 'Cause he popped up on Lil Yachty's podcast and decided to fire back. Baby said those memes about him and Mike Rubin messed with his head so much that he even hit Rubin up personally, asking for the party's security footage just to prove that nothing shady went down. That's how deep it got. But here's the kicker. Even though Rubin apparently sent him the footage, Baby never posted it, which made fans even more suspicious. Like, if there's really nothing to hide, why hold back now?
People had a great relationship.
What's even wilder? Baby wasn't mad at Rubin at all. In fact, he said Rubin's been a super great influence in his life. But when asked how exactly Rubin influenced him, he couldn't even explain it. He just kind of danced around the question, and people definitely noticed. Now on Rubin's side, he finally addressed those viral pics in an interview last year. He said the whole thing was blown way out of proportion. According to him, everybody at the party just had a little too much to drink, and that was it. But let's be real, the way Rubin kept gushing about Lil Baby. Fans were low-key saying it sounded like he was crushing hard. The energy wasn't just friendly. It felt way too personal. But even after all the interviews and so-called explanations, people still feel like something's off with Michael Rubin, especially when it comes to how tight he gets with young black rappers. And the wild part? This man's not even in the music business. So what's really pulling him into all these hip-hop circles? And let's not act like it's just Lil Baby. Remember that viral clip of Meek Mill out here bunny hopping on a tennis court for Rubin? Yeah, that video had the whole internet cringing. Meek tried to brush it off later, saying he lost a bet during a match. But let's be real, a rich white billionaire telling a black man to hop like a bunny while barking commands? That ain't a good look. At all. So the big question is, who even is Michael Rubin, and why does he stay surrounded by rappers like he's their manager or something? Well, according to his Wikipedia page, Rubin was born in 1972 in Philly and grew up in a Jewish family in Lafayette Hill. By 14, he was already grinding, used his bar mitzvah money and his dad's lease to open up a ski shop. Straight hustler moves from early on. He later went to Villanova University but didn't stay long. Dropped out after just one semester when he flipped a $200,000 overstock gear deal. A friend funded it, and Rubin turned that into serious money. He sold off his shops, launched KPR Sports, and by 1995, he was already making $50 million in sales. From there, he leveled up again, created a company that turned into GSI Commerce, a billion-dollar e-commerce empire. Now, Rubin's running Fanatics Inc., and somehow he's managed to place himself in the middle of hip-hop fame circles, with everybody watching like, how'd he get here? Michael Rubin isn't just some random billionaire. His company, Fanatics Inc., is the official licensed sportswear partner for the NBA, NFL, MLB, NASCAR, Formula One, and WWE. And according to Forbes, as of mid-2025, Rubin's net worth is sitting at a massive $10.6 billion. Now you might be thinking, what's shady about that? Sounds like he's just a sharp businessman who came up from a regular middle-class background, right? But nah, here's where it gets real sketchy. It ain't about what Rubin does, It's all about who he knows. His whole rise feels like it's built off high-level connections, not raw hustle. And when you actually watch him talk, dude's got zero charisma, none. People say his vibe is just off. And his eyes, cold and blank, like there's nothing behind them. Folks online been saying he gives off straight-up soulless energy. So why is it that so many rappers and athletes who usually move tight seem weirdly thirsty to be around this guy? It just don't add up. Now here's where it gets even deeper. Rubin's now famous all-white party. That wasn't even his original idea. That whole white party tradition was made famous by Diddy back in the late 90s. Diddy's white parties in the Hamptons were legendary, invite-only, no cameras, full of secrets. That was the spot for A-listers. And get this, a lot of the same celebs who partied with Diddy back then, they're now showing up at Rubin's version. Even Leonardo DiCaprio was spotted at Diddy's 1997 white party in the Hamptons. And now, he's at Rubin's too. So what's really going on behind those all-white smiles and billionaire photo ops? 'Cause it's looking less like coincidence and more like a pattern. But here's where the rabbit hole gets even deeper. People ain't just pointing fingers at Rubin because of parties or weird hugs. What really got folks side-eyeing is the pattern of influence he's building around some of the most high-profile Black artists and athletes in the game. And it's not just optics anymore, it's raising questions. Think about it. How is Rubin, a billionaire sports merch king, suddenly the go-to guy for some of the biggest rappers and stars? He's not a music mogul, not a producer, not even a promoter. Yet he's got Lil Baby on jets, Meek on tennis courts, and whole squads of young rappers showing up at his house like it's some kind of VIP clubhouse. People online have even started calling it the Rubin effect. Some say he's positioning himself like a new age gatekeeper, where if you're not cool with him, your name ain't getting pushed in certain rooms. That's why fans are starting to believe that maybe all these hangouts, trips, and white parties ain't just for fun. They're looking more like tests, or even unspoken agreements. And let's be real, every time someone questions it, they either laugh it off or get labeled a hater. But when you put all these pieces together, Meek hopping, Baby pulling up his shorts, Rubin hugging folks like he owns them, yeah, it's starting to look like more than just coincidences. Some fans even brought up how this whole thing is giving Handler energy. Like Rubin ain't just a friend, but a figure put in place to keep eyes on these stars and control their movements behind the scenes. Now here's where things get even wilder. Word on the street is, Lil Baby ain't the only one. Rubin's been popping up next to a whole new wave of rappers lately. From up-and-comers to A-list stars, it's like he's always in the background, smiling, throwing parties, flying them out, and making sure he stays close, too close. And fans aren't just guessing anymore, they're connecting the dots. People are digging up old photos, private jet clips, and behind-the-scenes party footage where Rubin's always around, but never in a passive way. He's right there in the middle of the action, whispering in ears, cracking jokes, and always moving like he runs the room. There's even been speculation that Rubin's white parties might serve a purpose beyond just celebration. Some folks believe those invite-only events are where artists get pulled into deeper industry games. Allegedly, some celebs even change how they move publicly after attending, suddenly dressing different, acting more reserved, or even cutting ties with folks they used to be close with. And you already know, when fans start noticing changes like that, they talk. Some people are saying these parties are part of a quiet system. And if you're in, you stay protected, elevated, and rich. But if you push back, you might find yourself out of the loop and fast. One viral comment said it best. It's not about the party, it's about the price of admission. And it ain't money. And there it is, Leonardo DiCaprio popping up again, this time at Michael Rubin's all-white party last year. Just like Jay-Z, who's been spotted at these events over and over. Look back at 2003, and you'll see Jay chillin' at Diddy's iconic white party with the late Andre Harrell. Fast forward, and there he is again, this time with Beyonce, posing at Rubin's white party in 2024.
Now fans are talking heavy, saying Rubin didn't just copy Diddy's style, he straight up replaced him. And some even believe Rubin is running a low-key blackmail operation, using these private events to lock people into silence or submission. It's a bold claim, but with the kind of access he's got, nothing sounds too far-fetched anymore.
And it gets even darker. Online rumors say Rubin and some of the other old money billionaires around him allegedly have a thing for making young black rappers do humiliating rituals. From weird dares to image-altering stunts, these rituals are said to be the unspoken price for fame. And while no one's saying these stars are being forced, people believe many go along with it, either to boost their career, get legal protection, or chase those #1 spots in flashy awards. But then comes the Cat Williams bombshell. On Joe Rogan's podcast, Cat claimed that these private parties are linked to BFAT rituals and said there's way more shady stuff going on in this industry than folks could ever imagine. So now the question is, how deep does this go? Is it just parties and photo ops? Or are these rappers really paying a hidden price to stay on top? Let us know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more jaw-dropping breakdowns. And we'll catch you in the next one.